Say fight, fight! Say fight, fight! Say fight, fight! Say Trump! Scream!
As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America. I better finish strong, otherwise we'll blow it, and we can't let that happen.
I'm going platinum, selling rhymes. I went platinum 7 times.
I'm here tonight because I want the world to know that Donald Trump is a real American hero.
Fight! Say fight! Fight! Say fight! Fight! Say Trump! Scream!
It has been a decisive week in U.S. politics, from a surge in numbers to a sure shot. Donald Trump has just become the man who could return to the White House 6 days after surviving an assassination attempt. Hello and welcome. I'm Geeta Mohan and you're watching World Today. Former United States President Donald Trump took the stage at the Republican National Convention to accept the party nomination for the presidency.
My fellow Americans, it is my honor to introduce the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Amid much fanfare and celebrity participation, the man with one bandaged ear emerged a much somber man after his near-death experience. His speech began with gratitude and service for all, but he soon fell into the old rhetoric of blaming his opponents and reiterating his far-right position on many issues, including immigration. Here are a few takeaways from Trump's crowning moment at the concluding day of the 4-day party convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Despite facing an assassination attempt, Trump called for healing and unity across the nation. He expressed a desire to be the president for all Americans, stressing the need to overcome divisions.
As Americans, we are bound together by a single fate and a shared destiny. We rise together or we fall apart. I am running to be president for all of America, not half of America, because there is no victory in winning for half of America. So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
In recounting the assassination attempt, Trump emphasized the role of divine intervention, claiming that his survival and continued presence are guided by God.
I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. No. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over. But I could see it. I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Thank you.
The Republican convention showcased a reversal of roles, with Republicans accusing Democrats of undermining democracy and promoting a strong anti-immigrant stance.
And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy. Especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country.
Trump promised to conduct the largest deportation in U.S. history and further secure the U.S. borders, reflecting the party's stringent stance on immigration should Donald Trump return to power.
The Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country. Even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower from many years ago. You know, he was a moderate, but he believed very strongly in borders. He had the largest deportation operation we've ever had.
Trump and his party continue to push for increased fossil fuel production, opposing mainstream climate change initiatives and promoting policies like drill, baby, drill.
I make this pledge to the great people of America. I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We will drill, baby, drill.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump appeared with a white bandage on his right ear after the assassination attempt on him. The bullet hit his right ear. His supporters have since then worn ear bandages on their right ears, colored white, in a show of support for him. This fashion accessory has become a political accessory. Here is a report.
The United States has a new fashion accessory, and it is not ripped jeans or a baseball cap. It is, in fact, an ear bandage. The Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump appeared with a white bandage on his right ear after the assassination attempt on him. His supporters have since worn ear bandages on their right ears, colored white, in a show of support. This fashion accessory has in fact very quickly become a political accessory. It is a constant reminder to his supporters of his close brush with and defiance in the face of death.
We're helping President Trump set a new fashion statement, and we're standing in solidarity with him for his wound, and we just want him to know how much we love him.
The tragedy that happened just a few days ago, we just wanted to give our hearts, we wanted to show him our love, our respect, our admiration. And if he needs to go through something and he's going to fight, we want him to know that the Arizona delegation feels the same way. We'll go through it with him. So out of solidarity, we said, you know what? Let's show Donald Trump that we support him so much. And if somebody has to wear a cast, we'll wear a cast. If somebody has to have a bandage, we'll wear a bandage. We're behind him 100%.
Trump will formally accept the GOP nomination at the last day of the convention, where he will make his first speech since the attempt on his life. And more importantly, this will confirm his bid for the White House as he faces Democrat Joe Biden in a rematch of their 2020 race. Bureau Report, India Today Global.
On to the Democrats. As President Joe Biden is isolated after showing mild symptoms of COVID-19, chorus grows for him to step down. President Joe Biden had earlier hinted that if a doctor were to clarify and certify that he was suffering from a medical condition, then he would indeed step down. But will he or won't he? Take a look.
US President Joe Biden is reportedly nearing a critical decision about his 2024 re-election bid amid growing concerns from key allies, including former President Barack Obama, about his viability as a candidate. The 81-year-old Democrat, currently isolating at his beach house due to a COVID-19 diagnosis, faces mounting opposition within his party, with several media outlets indicating he might soon drop out of the race. The New York Times reported that some of Biden's close associates believe he has started to accept the possibility of losing to Republican rival Donald Trump in November and may need to step down from the race. One insider mentioned that it would not be surprising if Biden endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris as his replacement. Former President Obama has also reportedly advised Biden to seriously consider the viability of his candidacy. Axios and NBC have quoted sources suggesting Biden could drop out as soon as this weekend. Despite these reports, Biden's campaign officials have firmly denied the claims, insisting he is committed to running for re-election. Campaign official TJ Ducklo dismissed the speculations as baseless conjecture. Vice President Kamala Harris, during a speech in North Carolina, did not address the crisis directly, but emphasized the importance of the upcoming election, contrasting Biden and Trump. As Trump delivered a promising speech at the 2024 Republican National Convention, officially accepting his presidential nomination from the Republican Party, Biden faces personal and political isolation. Biden's COVID-19 diagnosis has come at a critical juncture, forcing him to cut short a campaign trip and isolate. His doctor confirmed that Biden's symptoms are mild and he continues to manage presidential duties. However, his appearance descending Air Force One raised concerns about his health. The number of Democrats openly calling for Biden to quit has increased, with 20 House representatives urging him to step down. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries have reportedly met with Biden, warning him about the potential negative impact of his candidacy on the party's prospects. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has also privately advised Biden to reconsider his run. The stark contrast between Trump's robust campaign activities and Biden's current situation underscores the increasing pressure on the president regarding his political future. Bureau Report, India Today Global.
And here's an interesting interview for you. But before I tell you, let's just go across and see what I had to do just a while ago with somebody who impersonates Kamala Harris to the T. This is an India Today Global exclusive. I'm being joined by none other than the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. Or not? Is it St. Palti? St., thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global. We've seen many people impersonating or doing impressions of leaders, but none like you. You've nailed Kamala Harris metaphorically as well as literally so, in terms of how you take her on everything that she does. But let's begin with a few things that have happened recently, and then we'll go to exactly what Kamala does and how she reacts. But whatever you say, St., you have to do it in Kamala Harris's way. Let's begin with the cackle, the inimitable cackle of Kamala Harris, which you certainly have been able to imitate.
Thank you.
Can we hear the cackle as well?
You know, I can't just cackle unless you say something really funny.
Okay.
Or really dangerous. But yeah, I can cackle to anything, honestly. I think this whole thing is a joke.
Well,
I've
been tracking you. You can actually cackle at anything. I can say Kamala Harris and you'll cackle. That's superb. That's just superb. Okay, let's just get down to it. A lot has happened in the recent past. Let's begin with the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. How does that now look for the Democrats as also for the Republicans in terms of the campaign itself? We're looking at somebody who's coming out stronger, more defiant. And on the other side, we're looking at a Joe Harris combine who don't seem to have their house in order.
You know, I'll tell you something about the assassination attempt. All right, first of all, I don't know that he was supposed to survive that, right? You know, but now that he has, we're in a little bit of trouble. Joe Biden is in a lot of trouble, but I'm hoping he drops out and I take my chance.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing.
Well, Greta, we need to unburden what has been, right? They attempted to take him out, and I'm going crazy. This man seems to get stronger with every single thing that we throw at him, all right? Indictments didn't work, okay? They didn't unburden what has been. Going after his kids, useless. I mean, anything you do to this guy, he just gets stronger and stronger. He's like a virus.
What advice do you have for young leaders across America?
You just must always remember to unburden what has been.
Before I let you go, talk about you. How did you come up with this? How did you start a Kamala Harris? I mean, why? Why would you even think of doing this to yourself?
I know. It's been an interesting 4 years. So, I'm not in the comedy realm, or at least I wasn't before this, but I started making, TikToks during COVID. And one time I tried out my hand at the impression so passionately about what's happening in the world. And I feel that genuinely they should be exposed. And there's no greater way to expose these people than through the portal of comedy. So I've just been taking the opportunities as they've come to me. I fully believe that everything she says, I'm saying it verbatim. I'm not even trying to make fun of them at this point. I'm just showcasing their ridiculousness.
Palti, thank you so much for joining us here on India Today Global. Indeed, a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Indians have been playing a very important role in global politics, the recent being Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance's India Connect. His wife, Usha Chilukuri Vance, is the daughter of Indian immigrants. Many Indian-born women have made it to the top jobs in the political field across the world. Let's see.
Indian origin women in global politics are in the spotlight again. Usha Chilukuri Vance, the wife of Trump's vice presidential pick, Senator J.D. Vance, has gained attention in India and around the world. With Usha Vance in focus, let's also take a look at 10 powerful Indian origin women in global politics. Number 1, Kamala Harris. Harris made history as the first woman, first Black American, and first South Asian to serve as Vice President of the United States. Raised by a Jamaican father and an Indian mother, Harris has also held significant positions as a Senator and Attorney General of California. Second, Shivani Raja. At just 29 years old, Shivani Raja became the first Conservative MP to win the Leicester East seat in the British Parliament after 37 years. Swearing her oath of allegiance on the Bhagavad Gita, Shivani's victory was seen as historic. Third, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley was born to Indian immigrant parents from Punjab and made history as the first woman to serve as governor of the American state of South Carolina. She also served as America's ambassador to the United Nations and also launched an unsuccessful bid for the presidency. Number 4, Priyanka Radhakrishnan. Radhakrishnan has the distinction of being New Zealand's first Indian origin minister. Born in India and educated in Singapore, she joined the Labour Party of New Zealand in 2006. She also served as a minister from 2020 to 2023. Fifth, Anita Anand. Anand was born to Indian parents from Tamil Nadu and Punjab and currently serves as Canada's president of the Treasury Board. Anand has also served as the country's defense minister. Sixth, Zanita Mascarenhas. Zanita Mascarenhas is an influential Australian politician of Indian descent. She was elected to the Australian House of Representatives in 2022 for the division of Swan. 7. Jyoti Gondek. Prabjot Kaur Jyoti Gondek has served as the 37th mayor of the Canadian city of Calgary since October 2021. 8th, Kamalpreet Khera. Kamalpreet Khera is a prominent Canadian politician who has served as Canada's Minister of Diversity, Inclusion and Persons with Disabilities since 2023. 9. Aruna Miller. Aruna Miller is the 10th Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, serving since 2023. Miller is a civil engineer and a former member of the Maryland House of Delegates. Finally, at number 10, Pramila Jayapal. Jayapal is a Democratic member of the United States House of Representatives from Washington's 7th Congressional District. A former member of the Washington State Senate, she is the first Indian American woman to hold both offices.